Visual novels can tell really great stories, but all of them, I'm guessing all of them, have different playtimes. You know, some visual novels are longer than others, some are pretty balanced and are in the middle, while some are smaller types of visual novels. Some that tell short stories, but also really delivering and executing them really well. Longer stories are like Hoshiori Yume Murai. That's a long story. Medium size would be Arcade Spirits. However, let's take a look at a small visual novel that was developed and executed really well and summarizes everything, even if the story is very short. And once again, we have to thank our friends at PULLTOP and MoeNovel for delivering us this wonderful visual novel. So, let's take a look at Adventure of a Lifetime. This is Adventure of a Lifetime, a romantic drama visual novel. Released back in March 30th, 2018, the visual novel was developed and published by PULLTOP in Japan, while MoeNovel published the English release. It's pretty funny, no? We've gone from soaring through the skies with If My Heart Had Wings, we've gone from looking up at the stars with A Sky Full of Stars. Now, we're jumping into the ocean with Adventure of a Lifetime. And honestly, I'm quite excited for this conversation because Adventure of a Lifetime is a fantastic visual novel and generally surprised me with how well it was executed and summarized really well. And I believe this is one of PULLTOP's better visual novels. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just start from the beginning, shall we? Let's take a look at the visual novel. You are Hiroki. You're returning to your hometown located in the Ogasawara Islands after 4 years to help with your grandmother's shop during summer vacation. During your trip to the islands, you'll meet a girl named Emily who has run away from her family and is trying to find something that was lost within the waters of the island. A wedding ring that her father lost when he was proposing to her mother. As you reach the island, you reunite with your childhood friend Chisa, who explains to Hiroki that there exists a sunken ship below the ocean and may be the location of where the wedding ring might be. So, Hiroki, Emily, and Chisa will try to learn or relearn the ways of deep diving within the ocean as they try to find Emily's lost wedding ring. The story is very standard and simple, but there's something within that story that makes it stand out. It's similar to the stories of If My Heart Had Wings and A Sky Full of Stars. Both are simple stories, but they go into more detail in explaining the importance of why we should care about the sky or stars. Adventure of a Lifetime takes a simple coming-of-age story and adds a ton of detail to it. It's not just about diving into the ocean to find a lost item. It's a story about family, friendship, summer love, and childhood, while also, of course, finding Emily's wedding ring. The story is detailed very well and doesn't feel too overwhelming. It's straightforward, but it does try to differentiate from other PULLTOP visual novels, and it doesn't feel like the story has been overused. It's trying to be original in its own way. Gameplay is like any other visual novel, and of course each choice you make will lead to one of the two routes, and the choices themselves will be easy to see which one will lead to which route, as the choices themselves are basically saying if you either lean to Emily's side or Chisa's side. It's really that simple. The writing felt very realistic, in the sense that some of it feels honestly relatable. The comedic part of the writing was hilarious, and many of the characters had some great moments throughout the novel that made me laugh hard. But the drama part of the writing was very well written, creating a ton of emotional moments that showcases how troubled the lives of the heroines has become. There may not be a ton of moments where you might cry, but there will be some genuinely emotional moments where you feel the emotions of the characters and the troubles that they're going through. MoeNovel also did the English translation of the novel, and while their translation on If My Heart Had Wings was not great, I would say this is one of their better translations, although it's weird hearing a young sister say completely out of place in large words, but besides that, it's still a good translation. The voice acting is also very well done. Both Emily's and Chisa's VAs did a great job with trying to capture their personalities and character. One is adventurous but ignores the dangers of the ocean, while the other cares about her friends, yet is stubborn and tries to ignore any negative situation. Here, Take a listen to their voice acting.
海の中で腐食が進んでどんどん脆くなるから船を押し流すほどの海流に襲われたらひとたまりもないってのが普通だと思う。
まさか本当に幽霊船ってわけじゃないわよ。
にやり。
何よその顔。
もしかして怖く
なんてないわ。幽霊なんて信じてないから。
ニヤニヤ。
The music is absolutely perfect. It captures the essence of summer extremely well, and it sounds very similar to past PULLTOP visual novels. But the music is extremely good at capturing that summer feel, especially with the instruments that are used. It's got this tropical vibe to it, with many of the music fitting in with each scene. Here, take a listen to the music. The art style is beautiful. Everywhere you look, the art is very bright and vibrant, especially with its background art. And honestly, this is some of the best looking art that I've seen PULLTOP done. The background art is very detailed in both the small town and the islands and the ocean floor. The character designs are also very pretty looking, with Emily and Chisa's designs being the standouts. The CGs as well look so gorgeous. I love how they perfectly capture the specific scene that is happening within the story, as you can feel the emotions within that scene. The CG set the tone right and beautifully illustrates the growth of our characters and experiences that they're going through. Speaking of the CGs, I know what you're probably going to ask me.
Where's the sex?
There are none. Turns out this is one of PULLTOP's all-ages visual novels, so don't expect any age scenes throughout this novel. But I can understand why some readers would be, I guess, disappointing for them since there's no sex. Well, I mean, unless you're a guy on Discord who happens to like sex scenes, and then you're probably going to cry. Now let's move on to the roots and the characters. Now there are only two roots in this visual novel, those being Emily's root and Chisa's root. Both roots will tell the same story, but you will clearly see the differences between both roots. Emily's root mostly focuses on Hiroki helping out Emily with finding the lost wedding ring, and as they continue to prepare themselves to dive into the ocean to find the ring, it presents them with the opportunity to get to know one another. You'll see the relationship will continue to grow as they talk, and soon they'll fall in love with each other. However, an issue appears out of nowhere as Emily finds out a huge secret that can give her second thoughts on finding the ring. Chisa's route, on the other hand, also focuses on finding the wedding ring, but the main focus is the relationship between her and Hiroki. The two were childhood friends, but Hiroki left without saying goodbye to Chisa, which negatively impacted the relationship. So Hiroki will continue to fix his relationship with her as they continue to learn and prepare to dive into the ocean. But then Hiroki finds out about a big secret that Chisa is hiding that could change the relationship forever. What I love about each route is that it's mostly focusing on the story and the problems the heroines are going through. There is romance, but the focus on it is very little. Like I said, each route will continue where the common route ends, but how they'll end and go about will be completely different. Once you finish both routes, you'll soon decide which route was your preferred choice. Either route will miss out on some key aspects that define the heroine's character and their development. It's honestly kind of sad to see not these moments in some of the routes. But it's what I like about visual novels. No matter which route you'll get, it'll be a different experience, because you're the one leading Hiroki to the chosen route. But the small amount of romance that is in each route is executed adorably well. As you witness the romantic scenes of the visual novel, it feels very genuine. It's an extremely heartwarming moment to see, especially the confession scenes, as it's nice to see how these relationships grew within the story. One route tells how two people will meet for the first time and slowly fall in love. The other is how two childhood friends are reunited and how the feeling of friendship, trust, and reignited love will return within their relationship. The romance, again, it's short, but it still delivers all the cute and wholesome moments of a romance visual novel. Hiroki is a great main character. He has similar traits like some other protagonists from other PULLTOP visual novels, but still his own character. He's a person who wants to help others and also wants to be able to accomplish his dream of being a chef. but as he meets Emily, he wants to be able to help her with getting the wedding ring, but most importantly, he wants to be able to show her the joys and fun of being in the ocean. For Chisa, Hiroki wants to fix his relationship with her. It's been many years since they last saw each other, and he left without saying goodbye to her, damaging the relationship. He doesn't want to ruin or worsen it, so he wants to fix it. He's a person who only wants to see others smile around him, a person who wants to show the joys of being near the ocean, and the ocean for him is a very special place. It's where he was able to strengthen his relationship with Chisa, but it's also the place where one of Chisa's fears was born. For Hiroki, all he wants is to have a great summer, but now all he wants to do is for both Emily and Chisa to have a great summer vacation. He wants to see them smile and enjoy the summer life. The pacing is honestly perfect. Remember that this is a short visual novel. Like, you can finish this novel in about 7 to 8 hours max. And while that does seem like a very short novel with less content, Adventure of a Lifetime is packed with a ton of story that doesn't feel like it's moving too fast. Each chapter moves at a perfect pace, where the story doesn't feel like it's moving too slow or too fast. It's just right. So basically, many of the scenes allows the reader to digest everything that's happening in the story without, again, moving too fast or slow. It doesn't feel too overwhelming. Each route has its own themes, and it's integrated heavily into the route's story. Emily's route deals with divorce and how it could heavily impact the child or person's mind, while Chisa's route deals with childhood issues, fear, and the negative impact of becoming famous. It's quite emotional, yet it will feel relatable for some people. It's something people have either experienced or not, but the visual novel does a great job with highlighting each theme to make it more impactful for the readers. But there's one thing that the visual novel does that is executed perfectly, and that's showcasing the love of summer and the joys of swimming in the ocean. The story showcases the passion that the characters have toward the ocean and how they all want their summer to be enjoyable with no negativity. In the novel, there's a famous quote that keeps on repeating: "Life is adventure." And that's what this novel is trying to show. Life is full of possibilities and adventures. So take the first step and see what adventures await. Adventure of a Lifetime received very positive reviews from readers alike. Now, what do I think about this visual novel? I think it's phenomenal. Again, I know that the story is short, but it's such a detailed story that not only showcases how we should love the ocean, but also how important family and friendship can be to many people. It's a story that is about summer love, and how love can be found whether it's meeting a new person or reuniting with an old childhood friend. Love can bloom from either of the two. It showcases how fun summer vacation can be and the adventures that can happen within the season. What PULLTOP did was honestly something amazing. They were able to create a fantastic visual novel with a great story, lovable characters, gorgeous art and CGs, beautiful and rich music, perfect pacing, short but adorable romance, and emotional themes. Adventure of a Lifetime was not only a fun journey, but a beautiful and emotional journey. And as an all-ages visual novel, this was a very well-made VN that people of all ages can enjoy without the need of 18+ content. PULLTOP has done an amazing job once again, and If My Heart Had Wings and A Sky Full of Stars, I say this is another great visual novel that is on par with those ones, especially with its content. Life is adventure, and it's best to take one small step. Be free, and soon you'll find yourself in an adventure that will be unforgettable. And that was Adventure of a Lifetime. This was such a fantastic visual novel to look at, and no doubt it's a small visual novel, but it's beautifully well made, and it's filled with tons of story content. And in my opinion, I feel like it should have been at least a bit longer, but for a 7 to 8 hour visual novel, I think this is a perfect place for anyone that wants to start reading visual novels. This is a great story to start. And no doubt, I feel like you're going to enjoy this adventure. Hopefully. And so, as we slowly wrap up the MoeNovel Saga, I just want to say thank you for joining me throughout this first saga that started a new line of new sagas. We took a look at the MoeNovel versions of these visual novels within the saga, and with that, it completes it. That's it. But don't worry, a new saga will unfold next year, so stay tuned for more info. But I'll give you a hint at the future of this new saga. We'll be once again returning back to the skies and stars. And with that, I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.